Reclaimed, The Fall of Utopia. Chapter 1, Shattered Harmony. Finn resided in a city adorned with gleaming spires, an idyllic haven of technology and peace called Utopia. In a world where conflict was obsolete and discontent seemed as outdated as ancient relics, he, like everyone else, had been conditioned to believe in the inherent goodness of this society. That chilly evening, Finn began to notice something different. As a systems analyst, he monitored the city's technological infrastructure. While scanning lines of code that seemed like hieroglyphics, an unusual sequence caught his attention. A command line hidden beneath complex algorithms suggested threat. As Finn explored the code further, a sense of foreboding gripped him, unsettling his thoughts. Each line he deciphered whispered secrets, unraveling layers of deception, slowly revealing a reality that had been meticulously masked by the seemingly flawless facade of Utopia's perfection. Amidst the deceit, a faint but persistent hope lingered, a fragile hope for redemption and liberation for those unjustly cast aside by the city's ruthless and relentless pursuit of flawlessness, and their deep yearning for a more compassionate, just and equitable society that valued every life. His curiosity piqued, Finn navigated through the intricate maze of codes. It felt like stepping into uncharted territory, where every symbol and line unveiled a darker truth. The more he uncovered, the more troubling the revelations became. Utopia was, in essence, a society constantly striving for an idealized perfection. The city's algorithms selected its inhabitants carefully, maintaining a delicate and calculated equilibrium. Every birth, death, and match for marriage, friendship, or career was calculated with ruthless precision to ensure the city's harmonious order remained undisturbed at all costs. Finn discovered a shocking truth that rocked the very foundations of this order. Those who did not fit into the city's definition of perfection, whether physical or mental, were not rehabilitated but exiled, condemned to live in the desolate wastelands beyond Utopia's towering walls. A wave of nausea swept over Finn. His head spun, a deep dread settled in his stomach. His trembling fingers barely managed to shut down the interface before he sank back into his chair, the harsh reality gnawing at his conscience. This was his city, the society he had loved and admired, a city that had been his home since birth. But the flawless surfaces he had walked on, the buildings he had admired, were tainted by a truth he could not ignore. This was the beginning of Finn's awakening, the shattering of his perception of harmony, and the start of a journey that would forever alter the fate of Utopia. Finn couldn't sleep that night, his mind haunted by the revelations. Images of the exiled, the imperfects, pushed into the barren wastes of the outside world, consumed his thoughts. The idea of their suffering was a relentless pain. By dawn, after hours of restless contemplation, his mind was resolutely made up. He knew he had to expose this atrocity. Determined, he meticulously began collecting data, copying the disturbing sequences of code and cautiously storing them on a separate drive, taking every possible precaution to ensure the truth would not be erased. Sipping his coffee, Finn felt the weight of his newfound knowledge pressing down on him. Each passing moment felt like an eternity as he wrestled with the decision to involve Arya. He knew that by revealing the truth to her, he was also exposing her to the same dangers that now loomed over his own life. Yet he couldn't bear the burden alone. With a heavy, reluctant sigh, he finally resolved to share his burden with her, fully aware that the truth could change everything between them. He knew that their bond, once unbreakable, would either strengthen under the weight of their shared secret or completely shatter, crushed by the danger it posed to them both. After 3 long days and restless nights, Finn found himself at a small coffee shop, the gentle hum of conversation around him providing some semblance of normalcy. Across the table sat his closest friend, Arya. Her radiant smile usually brought him comfort, but today it was a painful reminder of the innocence and trust everyone, including her, had in their utopian society. "Is everything okay, Finn?" she asked, concern creasing her brow as she noticed the deep, dark circles under his eyes, the tension in his posture, and the uneasy twitch of his fingers. With a deep breath, Finn made his confession. He explained the forbidden code, the cruel exiles, and the shattered illusion of their perfect city. He watched as Arya's face shifted from disbelief to shock, and finally, to an unsettled quiet. "But why? Why would they lie to us?" Arya stammered, her voice barely a whisper. Finn could only shake his head in frustration. "I don't know, Arya, but we can't let this go. We have to do something about it." Their conversation ended with an uncomfortable silence, an air of unease hanging over them as they parted ways. As Finn retreated to his apartment, he couldn't help but feel a surge of fear. The weight of the truth he carried was heavy, and its consequences unpredictable. He knew his life, and perhaps even Arya's, would never be the same. This was the end of their innocence, the end of their utopian dream. But little did Finn know, as he plunged into a restless sleep, just how drastically their lives were about to change. Unknown to Finn, Arya had reported their conversation to the authorities in her confusion. The next morning, Finn awoke to the sound of heavy footsteps and the ominous hum of drones outside his window. Panic surged through him as he realised the gravity of Arya's actions. His heart pounded as he hastily gathered his things, his mind racing with thoughts of escape and survival. Finn's journey, sparked by a shocking revelation, was about to take an alarming turn. The peaceful haven of Utopia would show its fangs, and the cost of unearthing its sinister secret was far greater than Finn could have ever imagined. As he fled through the city, dodging patrols and surveillance, he could feel the weight of his mission bearing down on him. The once familiar streets now seemed hostile and unforgiving. Finn knew he couldn't trust anyone, not even Arya. His resolve hardened, and he vowed to uncover the truth and seek justice for those who had been wronged, no matter the cost. The battle for Utopia's soul had just begun, and Finn was determined to see it through to the end.